Hello everyone. So there's this headline from Channels Television where it says Sowore says Obi not real opposition. Obedient movement disagrees. I've watched the video also, and earlier there was a particular tweet that someone had done, one of Sowore's supporters, and he said, "I stand solidly with my erudite leader Omoyele Sowore. He spoke no lies," according to this person. "Just bitter truth we must all confront. Peter Obi and the so-called obedient movement have consistently played safe, choosing comfort over confrontation and silence over solidarity when it matters most. Real opposition doesn't hide in political correctness. Real opposition doesn't negotiate with the oppressors, it disrupts them. While Sowore has faced bullets, detention, and brutal repression for the people's freedom, Obi has walked corridors of power, making peace with the very system that bleeds us. To be clear, this isn't about hate, it's about clarity. Nigeria doesn't need a gentle opposition. Nigeria needs a revolutionary alternative, one that is fearless, ideological, and committed to total liberation. Obedience can disagree," he said, "but they must also reflect. The truth is bitter, but it is truth all the same." And the handle of this person is Fezzi Nelson at the Fish Magnet. So when I read it, I responded with a tweet on it. I said, I find it baffling when people feel others have to do it their own way. Be it those who think people should not protest or those who think people should protest. Why the fixation on what others are doing or not doing? The focus should be on you doing what you are doing, and let others do what they are doing and align with those you have common goals with. At the end of the day, you can meet and drive for a better Nigeria. No one strategy is better than the other or worse than. There can be multiple strategies. Let everybody deploy theirs. If you think protest and revolution is the way to go, do it. For those who do not think it is the way, let them be. They are doing their own thing. And this is for me, you understand, because this conversation keeps coming on and on and on. Everybody have a right to do their thing. And if you see the other day when PO had come out to talk about the fact that protest, people shouldn't have protest, they protested where they didn't need to protest and all of that, they did and whatever, I called that and said, no, that's not for you to say. If you didn't see a need to protest, there are others who saw a need to protest. There were many reasons why people should protest, and there's no government nowhere that you say there's no reason. Even if Mr. Peter Obi is sworn into office today and there's reason to, we will protest to him. It doesn't matter, we will still support him. They say, God, on this one, see, you not do this one well, do it better, and that's it. And you as a leader, you listen to the protest, you will take on and do it better, and you take the glory. You understand? So this whole issue of, Mr. Peter Obi is not coming out to call for protest, you that you've been doing it, what stopped you from getting a bigger protest? What stopped you from having 1 million people on the streets? What stopped you from doing whatever it is that you want to do? That's you. And then he that is not doing it, he doesn't have a right to stop you from doing it. He doesn't have a right to say that, you are just on the street carrying few people and just walking about aimlessly. No, nobody has. Let everybody do their own thing. It's not Nigeria we want Nigeria to work. Must there be one-way strategy? I'm going to this particular place, so everyone must follow this road. No. Different people can follow different roads. Let's all meet there. The road that you feel is better for you. For those who protest, is better for them standing on the streets, challenging authority, being tear gas, being arrested, being detained. Fine. For those who feel that going along the corridor of power, running for office, doing whatever, meeting with people, negotiating and getting a common, fine. For those who think that A, B, C, D is their way, there are different plans. There is plan, it's not just plan A, there is plan B to Z. Let everybody deploy it. And then we'll focus on our singularity of purpose. And what that singularity of purpose should be is a better Nigeria that works for everyone. It doesn't matter who it was that got that better Nigeria. It doesn't matter who was it that got it. Let's work towards it when we get there. Having said that, it's to say, in 2018, I realized that if I keep doing the thing that I'm doing, then I'll be as incompetent as President Buhari. He was the then president. Which is, I'm coming out on the street and making demands. Demands to who? To the people that are not ready to listen. And from there on, I decided that I was going for me. Politics was where I was going to focus my advocacy on. That's where I'm going to focus my attention. And even up to today, for me, is to take that power, take advocacy to politics and disrupt it. I look at this thing to say, the National Assembly today, if we are able by 2027, carry 300 people there, 300 people that are fearless, courageous, competent, with character and capacity, that are patriotic, that will stand, that no president will dare to bring a budget that they have not ensured that there is no anyhow thing in that budget. Nobody, they will hold the executive accountable. If you get those people in, for me, that's my revolution. And you can't tell me that's not a good revolution. The same way I cannot tell you that walking on the street with your few people are being tear gas is not the way to go. Everybody have his or her own way to go. And for me right now, the biggest revolutionary weapon is a political party. There are people who have political party, they don't know how to use it. There is revolution weapon, a political party. You build it, bring people together from all walks. Say, we don't have the money, but we put our one naira together. As I'm sitting down with you here now, one of the mistakes I think I made that 2018 when I decided to think politics is that I didn't think about registering a political party. I can tell you that. Because for me, I always feel, what's the essence of registering one? Enter one, there's one, work that is already there, work with the decision. I've seen it from that 2018. I think some people think that Peter Obi's presidential campaign was the first presidential campaign that I joined. No, it wasn't. It was Dr. Obi Ezekwesili's presidential campaign, and I can tell you, we learned a lot. In short, it was, what was this thing? Crash course on politics in Nigeria that we got, from betrayal, from people you think, oh, you see them, we think they have the ideology, they have the values, they have the character, and then everything changes. And that's when I learned, sometimes, yes, people have character, competence, capacity, but it doesn't mean that it's permanent. There are people who don't mind negotiating their values. So that's why I tell people, I don't care what people's motives are. All I care is that if our values align or our views align at the moment, I'll work with you. If it doesn't, I'll walk away. Simple as it. Because somebody's motive, when people say, oh, this person is, I say, motives change. Some people come with good heart to do something, but because they get to a particular place, then they now become high stake and they are offered high this thing, and you see they lose their values. That was what happened to us. ACPN was the party we were in. This party that was talking integrity, we joined with I didn't join the party. She was a member of the party we were supporting. All of a sudden, they were now having meetings with presidency on our head and everything scattered. But that for me was that learning. And 2019 election came and passed, and then you know what happened 2020 NSAS. The youth were ready to take on politics. And for me, when Mr. Peter Obi came out and I checked the whole candidates, I was like, yes, this is the candidate for me that is best. And even up till now, as we talk now, Mr. Peter Obi is the candidate for me that is best for those who have shown their interest. And I have no two words about it. And the fact that I'm supporting Mr. Peter Obi does not mean that Mr. Peter Obi will do something and Aisha Isufu will not call it out if it's something that he has done wrong. The same way, if he does something good, Aisha Isufu, if he does something good, Aisha Isufu will also praise him and say, my president, well done. Mr. Peter Obi is my president in Nigeria today. I do not recognize any other president. So, and that is that on one side. Coming back to the issue, so I had what you call crash course. But like I said, if it's in hindsight, what I should have done then would be to register a political party. Because I can tell you today, a political party, having a political party is the biggest revolution instrument that you have. There's some people have political parties, they don't know. Revolution is not only about going out to collect bullets or tear gas or whatever. There are different kinds of revolution. You can have political revolution. What happened in 2023 election was a revolution. You saw the people when they came out and the difference that they made. You begin to take over power from little. And I'll give you example. If I have a political party today, what I will do? So like I said, for me that was a mistake. I'm going to come back to the issue of party. Just to mention one thing with that. Even after the 2023 election, I was one of those who felt there was no need for a new political party. A lot of people were like, okay, new political party. Since Labour Party, let's build Labour Party. Let's get it. And I stayed with Abure along the whole campaign that we did, the kind of conversation he used to have, you know, in the believing in building Nigeria, in doing the right thing, ideological. At the end of the day, I remember I met him in his office, brought out, you know, blueprint of what is it that there's a huge blueprint that we wrote on Labour Party. That we did on Labour Party. Myself, Mr. Century, Dr. Analo, sitting down, having meetings upon meetings of, if I was to estimate the hours of meetings I've had on the issue of Nigeria, like my husband will look at me and say, you give yourself work where they don't give you. Some days you are having 6, 7, 8 hours of meeting, from jumping from this one, do this one, do this one, work this one. But that's a story for another day. And sat with him to say, this is it. By now we should have had a Labour Party that had registered members of at least 10 to 20 million. Imagine 2 million of them paying 1,000 naira each every month. That's 2 billion naira. So even when people are like, new party, I said, even if you build a new party, other people will still come and join. Let's do this. It didn't work. So I said, okay, fine. When I saw the whole thing, the way it was going, because for me, one of the things, I've never been a member of any political party. Even though people think I've been, they always think I've never been. And I don't want to join a party and leave. I want whatever party it is. If I start there, that will be my ideal thing. I don't know life the way Nigerian parties are, but that's the kind of thing I work it. So when I saw the way, okay, all the parties that we have. So for me, let me come back to the issue. Say, having a political party in Nigeria today that is registered, you have this party. That is a revolution tool. It's so old since yesterday. If they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, that's what I said to myself. I learned from that lesson. And I said, if I keep being on the street, hey, Aluta, hey, this, that, every day, but what's the difference between me and the Buhari I was holding accountable? There's no difference now. These people are deaf and dumb. For you to have a protest that works, you need a critical mass. And usually they will tell you 1 to 2% of the population that will come out. Unfortunately, we live in a country where people don't even know how to make demands in their own families. Wives don't have mouth to talk when their husbands are talking. Children don't have mouth to talk when their parents are talking. Youth don't have mouth to talk when elders are talking. So is that the kind of place that you're expecting that people are going to be on the street and they will stay on and they will not move and they will say this thing? It takes a lot. And that's, for me, I'm very mindful of it. I'm the kind of person that, I don't even hold anything. I'm not even holding on to anything, even life itself. Because if I'm ready to lose my life. That's how I'm able to have that courage. You must be ready to lose something for you to get that courage. And not everybody has it, and it's okay. I must recognize, and I've recognized that. So what's the next best thing to do? How do we get this revolution in? Let me come back now. If Aisha Yusufu, I had a political party, or I have a political party today, revolution is done. This is how it's going to be. It's going to be focused on women and youth, young people. How many people do you have on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever? Many, millions. Let's even leave the what do you call this thing? Rural people in the rural area, they don't know. It's okay. Let the ones that are not in the rural area first of all begin. Massive recruitment, massive talking to people, join the party. We all have to be there. Have a party where there is level playing field. Have a party where there's internal democracy, ongoing. Have a party where the party can build a war chest. There is no reason why somebody is running for office and the person is the one having to use their own money to run for office. It's no longer politics now. It is not a business. It is not entrepreneurship. That's why people get into office and they want to raise their money. That's why members to get into the National Assembly and forget that they are lawmakers. They are supposed to hold executive accountable, that they are supposed to do oversight function, that they're supposed to be the voices of Nigeria. That's why they are licking the feet of the people who are in the executive, because they need money to run for the next election. What they do not realize is that when they hold executive are doing the things they're supposed to do. They might not need that money to be paying for election. So if we're able to have parties, let parties be the party. If I have a political party today, you understand, I'm part of a political party that, as you said, or not have as we own it. Of course, there's leaders in this thing. It's to get in people, number one, and then build a war chest with small money. If you can have 1 million people donating 1,000, that's 1 billion every month. It's put there, watched, transparently seen. Ensure that nobody is touching it anyhow. It's not the one that party members will not be driving business class, first class, and no. Those monies are meant for what? To take care of the party administration and also to run for election, fund the election, fund campaigns for members. There should not be a party where somebody is coming to use 1 million to buy form. Why? Why are you buying form? Why are you using money? Because you want to show interest to serve the people. The highest that should happen, you have something like, what do you call this thing now? Maybe the minimum wage. Use it to pick a form, so that in terms of administration of the whole thing, that's no form should be more than minimum wage or 100,000 or something. That's all you buy, so that everybody can do that. People that don't have money, but they have what it takes, the characteristics to lead, will not be able to come in, and they are checked very well to ensure that they meet the right criteria for the party and then voted for. Let this vote be the kind of vote that everybody can vote. Let it be done electronically. Let it be done physically and electronically. As long as you are a paying member, you'll be able to vote. It's not the one that they are using delegates. Everybody will be able to vote. See the candidates. They've gone through screening. They've come out. And then focus on the small position. It doesn't even have to be president. You don't have to focus on. Let the ones that have the power and means to do, you can focus on president and governor. But for the people, for the young party that they will have, what do? You focus on getting them into legislative arm, House of Representatives, Senate, House of Assembly, local government election, councillors, chairman. That is the revolution that me I'm interested in. Little by little. It might not be immediately. And I tell you, kid, you notice, it's not going to be, it's not a walk in the park. It's not the way I'm taking it now. No, it's going to be hard work. But the people that are destroying Nigeria don't have two heads. They have one head like me. Like me at the table, I don't get work. My small pikin, my youngest child is 23. She'll be 24 December this year. She has finished school. She's an electrical engineer. She's working. She's doing well. At least I'm not doing school run. I have enough time. I have a husband that supports me. Absolutely. He will ask me, sweetheart, is there anything that I can do to make life easier for you as you're doing what you're doing? I don't cook. I don't wash. I don't clean. I have people who do that for me. I tell people, I pay people to make me jobless. So this Nigerian matter, I dey carry am for my head. I don't carry am for my head. So when that, what do we now start doing? We begin to put together in this party. So I'm telling you, the new weapon, the revolution weapon is a party. That is a weapon on its own. Begin to get people that will enter National Assembly. Imagine we get 300 people, members to enter that place now. Would that place be disrupted? Even if you don't get 300 immediately, let's say maybe first year, let's say this 2027 has to go on, we're able to get between 30 and 50. That's something. They form a caucus. They are standing. They are being heard. The party is supporting them. Remember, this party, no one person owns it. It's everybody's collective small effort that goes into there. We have its ideology known. We do opposition as a party. not as an activist. You understand? There's an interesting tweet I saw earlier. I think, yeah, I've seen it here. I think it's important for me to read this tweet. It's from Olusegun Onigbide, the founder of one of the co-founders of Budget. He said, activism is not politics. Activism challenges society to strive for the ideal. It seeks the 1% in the 100%. It recognizes that meaningful progress comes only through the relentless pursuit of higher standards. Politics, he said, on the other hand, is about navigating the prevailing culture, building alliances, often complex ones, and at its best, serving as a framework to guide society towards progress. To understand such realism is to take the society towards the ideal that most activists seek, a very long, winding road. I try to point this to my friends so that folks can choose a side or understand what they're involved in. You see, this message that Sowore Onigbide wrote is profound. It's a heavy one. And I can tell you that. As an activist, you can have a stand. I tell people, I say, you see, anytime the national anthem is playing, I don't stand. For my this thing, I don't want to, I'll walk away. As someone who is an active citizen, an advocate, I had some people say activist, although I don't see myself as an activist, I can do that because it's about me and my choices and what. As a politician, I can't do that because it's not just about me. It's about others whom I'm representing or will be representing. That's why I've said to many people, I say, when people say, I shall run for office, I say it's not about not running for office. So there are certain things, of course, it's not the way politicians do, they won't have math. No, you can have your math, you can do this thing. But there are certain things that I can't say because if I'm elected into office, I no longer own myself. I am a representative of the people. So as someone, for example, if I want to run for office, I must stand for the Nigerian, this national anthem that was changed. If I was in office, I will not dare say I will not stand up because I am representing or wanting to represent people. So it is now about their collective will. What is the greater good? And I can tell you, I've taken part in campaign and this thing. There are people that I know I've dragged them, I've had issues with them, I've done whatever. But when politics joined, we had to sit at the same table. Even though I will still let you know, almost but we worked. We worked together. And I'll catch up, they say, you have to head. I say, but I have to be pragmatic. Because in life, it's not black and white. There are levels of gray. But what you must be mindful of was that don't ever negotiate your values. There are moments where you have to stand and say no. So you must know before you get in, well, these are my values. I'm not negotiating them. Nothing. I would rather, for me, I would say I will resign. I know this video is getting so long, but as I'm just talking, there are certain things that we have to talk about. And one thing that a lot of us have forgotten, or many people refuse to learn, is on the issue of 2014, 2015. People still kid themselves. Oh, Jonathan was the best thing after jollof rice. It's okay for you. For somebody, Tinubu is the best thing after jollof rice. The same way you have the right to say Jonathan was the best thing, they also have a right. Maybe tomorrow we are going to be buying $1 for 10,000 naira, and they will tell you that Tinubu was okay because that's what is happening when people are getting Jonathan with the people that pass. But for me, it's not even about Jonathan. It's the profound lessons that came from that era that people refuse. And I see people making those things now. I was like, okay, so you people can do it. Many people did not vote for Buhari because they wanted Buhari. Yes, it was anybody but Jonathan. because of the things that will happen. The same way that a lot of people now are saying anybody but Tinubu. And so when that happened, they had to find, okay, what's the middle ground? What are the things? And a lot of people, when they saw Osibanjo and the fact that Tinubu is not always delegate, they were willing to. Just the same way that a lot of people, the El-Rufai, that had done so many and said so many atrocious things as Kaduna State governor, people are beginning to say, maybe. So, and I'm laughing, I'm like, oh, okay. So you can change your mind and say, okay, maybe let's give, because of how bad things are now, but you felt other people didn't have a right to do it in 2014. So these are the things about politics, about governance. Some of these things is not about you. When you are a leader, you lose yourself. It's about the people. There are certain things that I know, even when it comes to protests or whatever, I'll be at this thing, I know I can do this thing. But I always think about the people that believe in me, the people who came out, the people I'm leading. It's about them. They must be safe. They must be secured. They must be protected. I can put my life on the line, but I can't put their lives on the line. And sometimes people forget this. People want other people to, leaders want other people to protect them and put themselves on the line. But I tell you, and let me repeat what I said, the biggest revolutionary weapon today in Nigeria is having a political party. And if anybody that can't see that, too bad. Thank you for watching.